Jason checks his bank account. $130,000 a year. $3,400. That is what is saved. Total. He sits there. He does not move for a long time. Tomorrow he drives to work in a $47,000 car. His coworker Felix drives a 9-year-old Honda. Paid off. Felix earns $51,000 and could walk out tomorrow. Welcome to Wise Owl Finance. We translate money. That gap between Jason and Felix isn't about income. It's about something most high earners never see coming. Jason is not bad with money. He is trapped by a system he built himself. He did everything right. Every single raise, every promotion. And somehow, every single time, he ended up exactly here. Jason is what economists call income rich and asset poor. Sound familiar? High income, low savings, high stress. This is more common than you think. 8 years ago, Jason got his first real raise, $62,000 to $80,000. He celebrated. He deserved to. He had worked incredibly hard for it. He moved apartments, better neighborhood, $900 more per month. He bought a car he could finally afford. Payments started immediately. Then he got another raise, $110,000, then $130,000. Each raise arrived. Each lifestyle expanded. The savings stayed flat. The house was the big one, $487,000. Jason and his wife looked at each other and said, "We can do this." The mortgage was $3,012 a month, seemed manageable. Then came property taxes, homeowners insurance, HOA fees, maintenance. Nobody handed him that breakdown at the closing table. Nobody. The true cost of the house was not $3,000. It was $4,300. That is not the mortgage. That is the cost of owning the mortgage. Jason knew the mortgage number. He had never added the other numbers together. Meanwhile, Felix was paying $1,400 a month. Rent, done. No surprises. Jason had always felt a little sorry for Felix, for renting. Felix had been quietly watching Jason buy things and saying nothing. Felix set a reminder every Friday, 20 minutes, just his numbers. One Tuesday in March, Jason and Felix went to lunch. They talked money. Jason mentioned the savings number. Felix didn't react the way Jason expected. Felix asked, "What does everything you own actually cost you per month?" Jason started listing. He stopped. Then he started again, more slowly. The mortgage, the 2 car leases, the insurance on both cars, the storage unit, $160 a month since 2020. That is $3,840 in stored stuff. Jason hadn't been to the storage unit in 11 months. He thought maybe longer. 4 streaming services, 2 of them he shares with people who never chip in. A gym membership, $49 a month. He hadn't been since October. This is the dread tax, not the bill. The cost of never looking at the bill. Jason was paying for a life he had stopped living months ago, in full. Every high earner thinks they are the exception. Jason thought he was the exception. I read every comment on these videos. Last week someone wrote, "Same salary, same savings. Tell me, how long has your paycheck been invisible to you?" The standard advice is, make a budget. And technically, that's correct. Except budgets track what you intend to spend, not what ownership costs you. There is a second price on everything you own. Nobody lists it at the checkout. The car is not $689 a month. That's the lease. The car costs Jason $1,249 a month per car. Jason had 2. He thought of it as $1,401. He had been adding lease payments, not car costs, for years. He had set a budget reminder every January. He had snoozed it since January. Not because Jason is irresponsible, because looking felt worse than not knowing. Felix looked at his numbers every Friday. 6 minutes. Coffee, done. Felix's savings, $41,200 on $51,000 a year. Felix owns one thing with a payment, his phone plan, $28 a month. This is the number that changes everything. Not income, monthly obligations. If this is the money talk that doesn't make you feel worse, subscribe and like. Back at the diner, Felix slid the napkin back across to Jason. He said, "You're not broke. You're encumbered. There's a difference. Encumbered means every paycheck is already gone before it hits your account." Jason earns $9,166 net each month. After obligations, he had $941 left, total. $941 for groceries, meals, clothes, emergencies, everything. Let that sit for a second. $941 per month. Felix, after all obligations, keeps $2,822 monthly. Felix has 3 times Jason's financial freedom on less than half the income. The conventional wisdom says, earn more, save more. It misses everything. Most finance creators tell you to increase income. That's correct, and incomplete. Income growth without obligation control doesn't create freedom. It creates a bigger cage. Jason drove home from the diner. He drove past his storage unit on the way. He had been paying $160 a month to avoid a decision. That is the dread tax in full. Not the bill, the avoidance of the bill. Now here is where this gets bigger than the storage unit. Much bigger. The same system that kept Jason from checking the storage bill kept him from his retirement account. Jason had been contributing 4% to his retirement account, the minimum for his match. He had not changed that contribution in 5 years. Through 2 raises. The raises went to obligations. None of them went to the future, not $1. Felix contributed 15% since his first paycheck. Never changed it. Never thought about it. Not because Felix is a genius, because Felix has fewer obligations pulling at the money first. Here is the real number, the one Jason ran that night, alone. Divide your actual take-home by your actual hours, not the salary, the real rate. Jason earns $130,000, works 52 hours per week. After tax, after every single obligation, he keeps $941. His real effective hourly rate, $4.18 per hour. Felix, at $51,000 a year, effectively keeps $16.31 per hour. Jason makes more per hour on paper. Felix keeps more per hour in real life. Jason sat with that number, $4.18, for a long time. He thought about his coworker, the one he'd felt sorry for, the renter. The pity had been running the wrong direction entirely, this whole time. Here is what Jason actually discovered, not the number, the mechanism behind it. Every raise pre-spent itself before it arrived, every single one. He called this his lifestyle forward spend, the habit of upgrading on expectation. The problem is never the individual item. The house made sense, the car made sense. It is the aggregate, the total of all the individually reasonable decisions. Felix made fewer individually reasonable decisions, so the aggregate stayed small. Felix could quit his job with 3 months' notice and be genuinely fine. Jason could not quit without a new job lined up by the following Monday. 10 days. That is how much freedom $130,000 bought him. This is not a story about being bad with money. Jason is not bad with money. This is a story about a system that rewards earning and punishes stopping, quietly. The treadmill rewards the running. It does not reward the stopping. It cannot. Jason understood this for the first time at 36. Over a diner napkin. He did not feel angry. He felt something closer to, oh, of course. The number was not the problem. The number was just the symptom he could finally see. Within 6 weeks, Jason canceled the storage unit. One afternoon, 4 boxes donated. He did not sell the house. He did not trade in the cars. Not that week. He looked at every obligation. He named each one. He gave each one a question. The question is not, can I afford this? The question is, what does this cost my freedom? Those are not the same question. They never were. Most people never switch. Jason earns $130,000. He had 10 days of freedom. Felix earns $51,000. He has 28 months of it. 28. The raise is real. The lifestyle creep is real. The cage is built quietly, over years. You don't have to fix everything today. You just have to ask the right question first. Not, can I afford the payment? What does this cost my freedom? Ask that one instead. There is a specific threshold where a raise stops adding to your life and starts costing it. Almost nobody has found theirs. That number is on this channel. He is not fixing his income. His income was never the problem. He is fixing what he built with it. Here is what Jason discovered that most finance advice never thinks to mention. That income buys options. Obligations spend them. The people with less money who seem to have more, they are not earning differently. They are obligating differently. Jason figured that out on a Tuesday night. You just figured it out now. Subscribe for the next one.